Hello friends, Jenkins Dota here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of Pvgna.com, and this is part of the Offlaning with Legion Commander. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the odds and ends, the kind of the tips and tricks that I could think of for Legion Commander that don't really fit into any other video, but were still important for actually learning to play this hero really, really well. So the first thing that I want to show you is dueling people, how to duel people without a Blink Dagger. So when are you going to be doing this? This is going to be something that you're doing in laning phase or slightly after laning phase. It's very likely you're going to have vision of people doing this. You're going to have vision of people and they're going to be standing on lane creeps and you're going to be able to fog them. You're going to be able to be running around trees, you know, maybe you gank out of smoke, but they're not going to see you. And that's a very, very important factor here because that's going to give you the highest chance of actually landing a duel on people. So first, I'll show you what not to do. So a lot of people kind of feel this I guess this natural urge to just like you see somebody and you run up to them and then you use your spells and then okay wait why didn't he stun? Oh, I haven't leveled this stun, so of course he's not going to. Okay, so let me do this again. So people feel this natural urge to kind of just like run up to hero and use all their spells on him without considering fog or anything like that. It's just like you kind of blitz the hero with all your spells. Like this guy's here, he's just chilling, he's trying to farm, and I run at him and I cast my spells and he just stuns before I can get my duel off. So that's what not to do. You don't want to just like run at people and blitz them with kind of no thought. Legion Commander is a hero who she's actually kind of like clunky, I would say. She's clunky if you don't play her in the correct way, in the sense that you might be thinking like, how the hell does anybody duel anybody without a Blink Dagger with this hero? And here's how you do it. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're timing your phase boots and your overwhelming odds so that they happen once the phase needs to happen after the overwhelming odds happens. It can happen before or whatever, but they need to be concurrent essentially. You need to have both of these movement speed bonuses. So I know people have this natural urge to kind of just be spamming their phase boots just to get kind of that nice phase all the time and get around the map quicker, but that's actually something bad to do on Legion Commander because you need to make sure that you have those phase boots up for the overwhelming odds to actually duel somebody. But of course you want press the attack on you as well, so how do you actually get press the attack off without somebody stunning you or blinking away or whatever it is? How do you do that? So essentially what you want to do is you hide behind a tree, you hide behind fog, you hide out of vision, you press the attack yourself, you overwhelming odds them, you phase, and then you run up to them and duel them. And I don't want him to actually kill me here because he is a level 25 centaur. That's a little scary, but I will show you that again, and I will do it a little slower just to show you, and then I'll do it quickly just to show you how it's. So what you do is you press the attack yourself, and you can see this is 5 seconds and duel is 4 seconds. So that means you have about 1 second to actually run up and duel somebody, and you're going to get the full duration of duel to give you that attack speed. So you don't actually have to worry. I know a lot of people might think like, Jenkins, I want that attack speed for my duel, but you will have it because if you time the phase, if you time the overwhelming odds, you will get to that centaur, you will get to that Lina, you will get to whoever you're ganking in 1 second. You will have the attack speed for the full duel duration. Do not worry about that. They made this hero with the intention of allowing you to press the attack before dueling and having ample time to get that duel off. So do not run up to him and press the attack before you duel him. That is one of the worst things that you can do because he's going to stun you, and you're actually going to have games where you just don't duel anybody before Blink Dagger because you're just playing kind of the clunky old Legion Commander. That is how people used to play, but people are figuring this hero out. So what you do is you press the attack, you overwhelming odds, and with the overwhelming odds buff, you use the phase, and then you run up and you duel. And that's not going to allow him to stun. He's not going to have time to stun because you got to him. You're pretty much hasted. So you can check out that if I overwhelming odds without phase boots, I have 419 movement speed. But with phase boots, I have 512. So that's almost hasted. And that's hitting a single hero. I hit one hero with my overwhelming odds, and it's very likely that if you're doing this, it's going to be during laning phase, so you're going to be able to hit lane creeps. So this will put you to hasted movement speed, and that's why I like buying the Wind Lace. So that way you have pretty much a 100% chance of dueling people because you're essentially running around with a free haste rune all the time. But you need to make sure that you're using press the attack in fog, you're using overwhelming odds in fog, because if you use either of these things, look, I can cancel it. Look how long this is taking my hero to do. She looks so silly doing that. Like it takes her so long, and this guy's going to be spooked. So I need to make sure that these things happen in fog, so he just kind of sees a flash of light, and then all of a sudden he's dueled. That's what needs to occur here. So it's something very similar with Blink Dagger. So I'll go ahead and pick up my Blink Dagger here. And you want to hide in fog. You want to press the attack. You want overwhelming odds from the fog. You don't want. This is what you shouldn't be doing. You should not be doing. Should not be press the attacking yourself, blinking, and then overwhelming oddsing, because that's giving him extra time that he shouldn't have to actually stun and cancel your duel. And also, if he has a blink dagger and he sees you blink in, he's out of here. He's gonna blink away. So you need to make sure that you cancel his blink from fog first. So what you can do is just from fog and then duel. So it's very similar, except you don't have to run up to him and of course duel him. Yeah, and then of course when you have the blink dagger, the extra time that gets added to duel, it's not going to matter that press the attack's actually shorter than it, because you're gonna be blinking on him instantly after using press the attack pretty much. So it's the whole idea of press the attack falling off before duel is over. That's not an issue because you get on him instantly. So all right, the next thing I want to show you is the late game. Excuse me for a second. I'm gonna close my window. I can hear birds tweeting. Country life. This is what it's like in the country. There's birds interrupting your Dota 2 tutorials. So this is a very typical late game item build on Legion Commander. You need the Heaven's Halberd to break Lincoln Spheres. You need the BKB to protect yourself while you're dueling. You need the Shadow Blade to get instant initiations. You need the Blade Mail because of course it returns damage and allows you to kill a lot of those carries that you otherwise couldn't. You need the Blink to get on people, and the Phase Boots. Hell, you need boots. That's all really the only reason. So now I do have to say, this is hard. This is something, getting all of these things off before dueling somebody is actually hard. You have to practice this and get this to be muscle memory, but I think it's a lot easier than people make it out to be. I've heard a lot of pro players tweeting and being upset about how hard this is to do, and like, sorry, I can't do that, I'm not high skill enough. But it's actually not the hardest thing to do. So the late game combo is essentially this. So you're not going to worry about overwhelming odds because it does practically 0 damage and only is going to give the person an opportunity to get away. So the only reason you would use overwhelming odds is if you have to cancel somebody's blink dagger. But I would not do it because it's just it adds so little damage in the late game that it's almost not worth it. So what you need to do, this is the combo. So you're going to be Shadow Bladed because you want to get initiation without being spotted by wards. And you can see that I'm casting Press the Attack on myself, and you actually cannot. So when I'm Shadow Bladed, and you can see that until I actually cast it, it does not break my Shadow Blade. So the cast animation, so essentially what's happening is to the enemies, all they're going to see is I'm instantly going to be Press the Attacking. And that's what they're going to see. But it's very likely you still want to try to do this in fog. The Shadow Blade is only so that way you're not going to get scouted by wards. So what you want to do is you have to press your attack yourself before you do any of this other stuff, because it gets purged. Or sorry, you cannot press the attack yourself with Blade Mail. So not with Blade Mail, BKB. So you can see I'm spamming my 2 key, and I cannot press the attack myself because I'm immune to magic. But if you press the attack on you before, BKB does not purge it. So you need to press the attack first. So what you do, and assume this guy is a Lincoln Sphere. I actually don't know how to add a Lincoln Sphere to him. I googled it and couldn't figure it out. But just pretend this guy is a Lincoln Sphere. That's no problem because I have a Heaven's Halberd. So what you're going to do is you're going to be Shadow Bladed. You're going to press the attack yourself. Before blinking in, you're going to Blade Mail, BKB, blink Heaven's Halberd, and then duel him. And I know that might seem like a lot, but it's really not that much. And Blade Mail and BKB last kind of about the same time. Obviously, if your BKB is higher than 5 seconds, which mine is 5 seconds, you should BKB first, because that way you're going to get the longer. Although both of these are roughly the same duration as duel, so it doesn't, it's fairly instant. So I will do this. I will do this slowly just to kind of make it a little more obvious. So you Shadow Blade in, and you're not going to use Shadow Blade. You're not going to walk up and hit him. You don't want to do that. You want to Shadow Blade, try to get into fog, get into a good position to start, press the attack yourself, and then you BKB, Blade Mail, blink in, Heaven's Halberd, and then duel. And that Heaven's Halberd is going to cancel the Lincoln Sphere, and you actually don't want to Heaven's Halberd somebody if they, although actually I'm not actually sure. Does it, let's see, if can he right click me? No, I don't know. I guess it's only a 3-second duration, so it doesn't really matter, but you wouldn't actually want evasion if you wouldn't want to Heaven's Halberd somebody unless they have a Lincoln Sphere, pretty much because you want them to hit you to get that counter attack. Although that's kind of like a side note. It doesn't. It's probably best practice at this point to just Heaven's Halberd anyway, just to try to cancel the Lincoln Sphere, because at this point on Legion Commander, you're going to do so much damage that you will kill somebody with Duel, and it doesn't matter if they're hitting you or not. It doesn't matter if your blade mail, even the blade mail doesn't even matter at that that much at this point. So, but that's the combo. And I will do it quickly just to show you. So that's the combo, and I know it's like a lot to press all quickly, but I seriously think there's a lot of value in making sure that you're BKBing and blade mailing before blinking, and that you're pressy attacking before any of this. And then all it is you need to Heaven's Halberd them before dueling them. That's really all it is. There's no complication to it. Pretty much you're just Heaven's Halberding before dueling. That's the complicated part. Because all the other stuff you press beforehand. So, and most of your damage comes from your right clicks. So if your BKB isn't on for like the whole duration, whatever. If your blade mail's not on for the whole duration, whatever. Don't worry about it. The most important thing is you're canceling that Lincoln Sphere with Heaven's Halberd and then getting that duel off. As well as having pressy attack, because it's going to give you 140 attack speed, which is a hell of a lot. So that is the late game combo. So I will show you a couple more things here. The first thing that I want to show you that's not actually involving any combos is just the fact that pressy attack works on towers, or Moment of Courage works on towers. So you can see that. Okay, I need to turn WTF mode off because they're like hella fortifying. Oh my goodness. But I need the WTF mode to get up here. So I will hit this. You can see that occasionally if it procs. You can see that I'm double hitting. So 42, 42, 42, 42, 41. So you saw that. Okay, so Moment of Courage works on towers. That is an important thing. So you can see if this whole creep wave is here and it's beating the crap out of me, I'm going to press the attack the crap out of, or sorry, I keep calling it that. I'm going to Moment the Courage the crap out of this tower. So I don't want to die. I'll refresh. But you can see that because I was tanking this huge creep wave here, the tower was getting the crap beaten out of it because it was proccing Moment of Courage on the tower. And that's really, really important. Make sure that your team understands, like, hey guys, let me tank the creeps, let me tank the tower. I want to do more damage to that tower with Moment of Courage. And I would have been proccing more, but I'm only level 9. So that is an important thing. So another thing that I want to show you is that if I'm facing away from things, watch my Moment of Courage. Do you see that? Do you see how it's going on cooldown despite not facing things? So if you're actually not facing something, you're going to waste Moment of Courage. So you need to make sure that you're constantly right-clicking something that you want Moment of Courage to be used on. So you can see that if it's hitting me, I'm hitting nothing. But if I'm right-clicking this, okay, I'm just hitting too hard. You can see that it's now working, you know, as expected. But if I'm just facing away, I'm going to be wasting these Moment of Courage procs, and it lasts for like 0.5 seconds or something. So you can turn around quickly. So let me see if I can try to do it. We'll right-click Centaur to get these creeps to attack me. Okay, 1 sec. Okay, so I did get it to work there. So you can actually kind of use it if you want to harass people in lane. So if you're facing away from creeps and you see that you have a Moment of Courage spinning, you know, the cooldown is there and the debuff is showing there, make sure to right-click an enemy hero, because then boom, you're going to give them that counter attack. So that's something that you can abuse. But essentially the point is make sure that you're facing things that you want to actually hit. You're right-clicking things that you actually want to hit, because otherwise you're going to be wasting Moment of Courage procs. And I know people have this kind of tendency to, in lane, they're kind of like, they right-click something, move, right-click something, move, right-click something, move. But on Legion Commander, that's not going to fly, because you're actually going to miss Moment of Courages by doing that. So that is the second to last trick that I want to show you. So the final trick that I want to show you is this one's kind of an interesting one. So it's essentially using overrolling odds, the percentages, so the creep percentage and the hero percentage, to kind of know what is where. So for in fog, so in Roche Pit for example, if I overwhelming odds Roche Pit, and then I look and I see the debuff and I can see that it says gaining 3% movement speed, that's because I hit just Roshan with the overwhelming odds. So I can know that just by seeing that the 3% is there. So I know nobody's in the Roche Pit because, so let's say I will create hero crystal, that creates a crystal maiden enemy, and then okay, get in there, crystal maiden. So I will turn off vision just so you can see that unvision, no vision. All right, I don't know how to turn off vision. I guess I don't know the commands, but anyway, even if I don't have vision of this, it's no problem. But if I overwhelming odds this, I can see here that I'm getting 12% movement speed. That means somebody's in there in Roche. So if you're dealing with like an Ursa or a Troll Warlord, and you want to see if they are roshing, solo roshing, you can overwhelming odds, and if you see 3 plus 9, 12, then you know 1 hero is in the Roche pit, and you can tell your team, Troll is soloing Roche, Troll is soloing Roche, get in there. If you see that it's 3 heroes, then you're going to be like, all right, guys, we need a team fight here, stuff like that. So it's very useful. You can also use this if somebody's running away from you. You can, like, you know, overwhelming odds in area, and then you're going to know where they ran because you will have the debuff. But you can see that if I overwhelming odds nothing, I don't get the buff, not debuff. So I don't get the buff. So you can actually see where somebody's juking by abusing the fact that overwhelming odds gives you a certain percentage and gives you nothing if you're actually hitting nobody. So I can also see if a creep camp is here, you know, things like that. So I can see that 12% movement speed. So there's satyrs here. So I know that there's satyrs here because of the percentages. So just cool little things you can do with it. It's actually useful in games, mostly because of the Roche thing. But it's also useful for catching people who are trying to juke through fog, and just kind of seeing if they're still there or whatever, things like that. So that's it for this video. That's all I could really come up with. Anything else, hopefully I'll cover within the replay analysis video. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.